Hello, I've got a rather weird fringe. Things are happening to my fringe. The no makeup look, because I can't put any makeup on for a couple of weeks. So you've got the old red eye. So let's see who's the first one to join me today. Will it be Chris? Will it be Nathan? Will it be somebody completely different? Let's see who it is. Well, two people are watching this, so somebody's going to say something soon. Judy, you're the first one today. Hiya, Deirdre. It's usually Chris or Nathan. You've beaten the guys to it today. Hi, June. The guys must be sleeping today. They're usually normally the first. Ah, dear. Hi, Rose. Or L Rose, is it? Yeah, well, Rose. How am I today? I'm doing very, very well, yeah. As you know, I had my eye surgery, that eye, on Wednesday. It went okay, yeah. And still teeny bit blurry, but it's not doing too bad. But I had a very heavy-handed surgeon, let's say. I thought she was going to put my eye out, let alone repair it. I mean, my right eye was absolutely... Hi, Nathan. My right eye never felt a thing hardly at all. Felt a bit, but he was so gentle. He was so lovely. Whereas this lady surgeon I had on Wednesday, I think she was using a corkscrew. Yeah. Hi, Samantha. She didn't have a delicate touch for a lady. So I'm glad that wasn't the first eye. Otherwise, I'd been very dubious about going back for the second. Not only that, she soaked me through all the irrigation that, you know, they put like a thing over you, which is supposed to keep everything away from you. No, it went in my ears. It went down in my hair. My hair was dripping wet through. My collar and my cardigan, my sweater was wet through. So I wasn't very happy with her. You're all knitting, but you struggle with your crocheting, Pauline. Well, we all struggle with something, don't we? Hi, Connie. Yeah, so I've got me big brew. Isle of Manchester, me bee. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. If you're wondering about the hair, I decided to take the blonde out and let it go grey. Going grey gracefully. I'm not sure what the regrowth will look like, but never mind. But at least you spared, because when I did it on Tuesday, the top knot was Mrs. Slocum blue. I mean, it's not now, it's grey. But it was blue. I thought, oh no, Mrs. Slocum, you know, have you watched Are You Being Served? Yeah. Hi, Jean. Yeah, it's sort of a strip out, so it's kind of not my natural colour, although my natural grey is there and my white at the sides is there. That's my own colour. So I decided to grow old gracefully. I was sick of bleaching it. My hair's gone skinny, it's nearly dropping out because of the over bleaching. So I decided it was either cut it really short, which I didn't want to do, or try and let it grow out. So I'm cushioning it, so so that the regrowth won't show too bad. Yeah. Do you like the blue bit? Have you seen the blue on the top? It's faded actually. It was really bright blue when I did it. It was supposed to be silver grey, but it didn't go according to plan. It never does when you dye it at home, do you? But I knew if I'd have gone to the hairdressers, they'd have chopped about 6 inches off it, and I wasn't prepared for that. Maybe when my hair's in better condition, I'll go and have a proper haircut, if you know what I mean. So for the moment, I'm just happily tying it back and letting nature take its course. uh-huh. Right, what have you all been up to this week? I believe Miguel's feeling a little bit better. Somebody did ask me, I haven't replied actually, somebody asked me on YouTube who was Miguel, so I presume it's somebody who doesn't come on here very often. that they don't know who Miguel is, because we all know who Miguel is, don't we? And well, it's not been raining today, Esther. I wouldn't exactly say it was nice and warm, but it hasn't been raining, which is a bonus, yeah. My son was tidying out the garage, but when I asked him about 2 hours ago, was there any improvement? And he said, I think I've made it worse. So I don't know what he's been doing. I didn't go out to look. I was busy doing my crochet. I didn't bother going out to see what he was doing in the garage, because I probably would have gone, oh my God, what is he doing? I know he moved everything off the drive, so he must have pulled everything out of the garage to sort it all out. But who knows what he's done. Our Rosie's doing very well after a spay up. She went back the other day to have everything checked over, and they did some laser treatment, which we weren't sort of expecting. Maybe it's to make the scar heal up better, I don't know. But they didn't give her a cone or anything. You know, like dogs usually come out the vets, don't they, with a big cone of shame, don't they? But she didn't have that. So, and she didn't even have one of those blow-up ring things. So, but she's doing fine. She's galloping about all over the place, yeah. They said keep her quiet. I mean, you can't keep Rosie quiet. She just bounces about and jumps about and does everything. I figure if she's feeling pain, she wouldn't be doing it, would she? Yeah. Connie's been playing with her new cry cup machine, making cups and things. My friend Sarah, who does, is it Manchester Mudlarking? She does. I know some people follow her. She used to have a cry cup machine. In fact, she was the one who made me this mug. Sadly, it's wearing off on the other side where I keep drinking. I've lost part of the B, but it's all right on that side. She's now got herself an allotment. If you're in America and you don't know what an allotment is, it's like if you don't have a garden, you rent a space and you grow vegetables and things on it. It's like a spare piece of ground, if you know what I mean. I don't know whether you have them in America. They're not attached to your house or anything like that. There's a few different allotments where people grow vegetables and things like that. And so she's just got herself an allotment. So she'll be digging on that. She'll probably be telling you about that if you follow Sarah. Yeah, I miss Sarah. Sarah's a very good friend of mine. I used to meet her for breakfast. This is one thing I miss about here. In fact, there was a video the other day, and I put it on my Facebook page about Prestwich, where I used to live. And if you go and watch it, it shows all the cafes and the shops and everything that there was. And I used to meet Sarah on a Monday morning, usually. And we used to have our breakfast. Even sort of during the first part of the lockdown, we used to sit outside and have breakfast. Yeah, so I really miss all that. There is nothing round here. You have to scooter quite a miles the other way and scooter miles the other way to even get a cup of coffee. Yes, that's why Sarah's made the Wuthering Heights sign, because they've got an allotment. Yeah. Hi, Daniel. How you doing? 2 eyes, Daniel. 2 eyes. I can see everybody. I can read everything. Wonderful. It's like literally the veil has fallen from my eyes. I haven't heard from Kelly for months. I sent her text messages which she's not replied to, so I presume she's either busy with her work or sadly she's cut me off her friends list. I haven't tried ringing her because she's working now, and I presume when she's not working she'll be seeing to the kids. So sadly I seem to have lost touch with Kelly. Not fallen out with her, there's no animosity, but I seem to have lost touch with her. Yeah. Yes, I've got 2 eyes now, Jean. Fantastic, 2 eyes. Yes. Sue is doing absolutely fabulous. I spoke to her, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I spoke to her, yeah. Yeah. She's got herself, well, it's not a little paying job. She's working in what we call a charity shop, what you in America call a thrift shop. It's all voluntary over here, though. You do not get paid. I believe you get paid if you work in a thrift shop in the US. So she's volunteering. It just gets her out and about and makes her some friends. So she's happily liking that. Yeah, she always did like a charity shop, did Sue. She used to find some wonderful bargains. Yeah, I mean, I did accuse her of. I said, I hope you're not bringing half the shop home with you. When people bring things in, you're supposed to be selling them, Sue, not buying them yourself. But either way, it'll still be money for the charity concern, won't it? Yeah. So yeah, she's doing quite well. I'm still hoping to go and see her this summer. Keep her out of mischief, yeah. Not that she gets in any mischief, yeah. Um, yeah, she's having a few problems with her PC. She was saying it was running very slow, so um, hopefully she'll get that sorted out. Mine's been running really slow, and I found out what the problem is. It's actually my provider. Um, they're redoing something around in the neighbourhood because people were complaining that the signal was bad. So hopefully, once they do all the work on my provider, my internet provider, we won't have the buffering problem. Hopefully, fingers crossed. The other day it was dreadful. I only had one bar, on my little signal box in the window. I usually have four. I very seldom have five, which it should be, but I usually have four. And the other day when it was buffering and I was talking to you, I only had one bar, which wasn't good at all, was it? Hi, Trudy. But it's not just me. I mean, people who live in the neighbourhood, we've got like a neighbourhood page on Facebook, Facebook, and people were complaining that they were having trouble with their internet. So it's not just me. So I apologise in advance if I start buffering. Yeah. So I'm still busy doing things for the craft show, even though it's next Saturday. Some come round, doesn't it? It seemed to be absolutely ages away when I booked it. And now it's next Saturday. Hi, Trudy. I probably won't sell anything. I don't know why I'm bothering, but never mind. Yeah, live in hope, die in despair. Is that what they say? I've bagged everything up. Well, I'm kind of like excited to meet like minded, crafty people. Even if I don't sell anything, there's going to be like 20 stalls. So it would be nice to chat to other people who have got stalls and maybe do more craft shows because I've not done any since I've been here. And, just to get some ideas. It's nice to bounce ideas off people that are similarly crafty. I don't know how you feel, when you meet up with people. Like I go to 2 knit clubs and I enjoy going if it's only just for inspirational bits, having a chat to somebody who doesn't think crocheting's like an old lady's. Hello, I am an old lady, but somebody who doesn't think crochet is something that your granny does, yeah. I mean, I'm always reading. I don't know whether you do on the internet how crochet is the thing, and it's all in the designers, and they're selling crochet for like thousands of dollars. And I'm thinking, where do you meet these people who will pay even $50? Where do you meet these people? Anyway, I finished some things off. I'm in the middle of doing something else, which I'll show you later. I'll show you what I finished. Well, I will when I can find them. If you're American, you know what red heart black light is. I had one ball of black light. So I made a festival top with it. That shouldn't have fringe sticking up there. So I made a festival top. It's basically 8 granny squares, but you put them together like on the, what's it? So I just had the one ball of the black light. So that's what I did with one ball of black light. This was the original one I made with all bits and pieces. Hi, Ben. Hello. That's the one I made. I don't know whether I showed it you before or not. It's different on both sides. So if you wear it one way, you can wear it another way. The squares are different. I mean, my friend June said to me, oh, I want to make one of those. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to use the rest of this wool up because I had to buy like one ball of every colour. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to use all the other colours up. Otherwise, that top has cost me an awful lot of money. Right, this one is done with, oh gosh, what's it called? Boho Spirit. That's what that one's done with. It's like a vesty top with the heart buttons on it. That's the back view. I like the boho spirit because it means you don't have a load of ends to darn in. And last but not least, I made this one in red, if you know. And I started. Hi, my darling. How are you? You're working and lurking, yeah? Yeah, I made one in red, if you remember. And I started this last weekend, I think. So this is, I love the colours of this, yeah. So I'm hoping that they sell. I've sorted out everything else into bags. Miguel's not on here, but Nathan is. You can say hello to Nathan. We haven't even got Chris. I think there's only 2 guys. Oh no, Ben's here as well. We've got 3 guys. So what are you busy making anyway? If you're working and lurking, what are you busy doing? Can you tell us, or is it a big secret? Have you gone back to your oh gosh, what do you call it? Resin. Oh yeah, I did mention you, Ben. I said you were here. I said Nathan was here, Ben was here, and oh God, I think that's it. Yeah, this is what I'm working on at the moment. This was some American yarn. I can't remember what it was. You probably recognise it. Again, I only had one ball, so I made as many squares as I could with the one ball, and I'm now making a waistcoat or a vest or whatever. I'm just using up like what I've got in the shed. I think it was Karen. Was it Karen? Simply Soft or something? I don't know. Can't remember. Anyway, that's what I'm busy doing, yeah. So, what are you doing, Trev? What are you making? Can you let us in on the secret? I know Daniel's probably busy dyeing his yarn. He's done some very pretty colours again. If you've not seen, if you go and look at Paw Ply Designs, he's dyed some very pretty colours. And once I finish doing all my craft stuff, I'm going to finish making something with his yarn. You're doing wax melts. Oh, that'd be lovely. My daughter-in-law loves smellies because we've got 2 dogs. And we have a little French bulldog. And Nathan will back me up on this. She's only little, but when she breaks wind, it clears the house. Yeah. Nathan will tell you that's true. So we burn a lot of candles trying to keep the house sweet. Hi, Kaz. We haven't got Chris at the moment, Kaz, but we have got Trev, we've got Nathan, we've got Ben, yeah? No John as yet. Yeah, so that's what we've got. Oh, dearie me. So how are your crochet ladies, Trev? Are they doing all right? Yeah. Oh, dear. Yeah, Trev, I've got 2 eyes now. Got 2 eyes that see, Trev. I was terrified. Well, I didn't come round from the operation. That is wrong because you're not under that anaesthetic. But when they said, right, the operation's over, I panicked. I couldn't see anything at all out my left eye. I thought, my God, not only did she operate on me with a corkscrew, I thought she blinded me, yeah. I couldn't see anything at all. Yeah, I had one cataract done in November, and then I was waiting to have the other one done on Wednesday. And she was a bit heavy-handed, this lady. And when I sort of sat up and that, I couldn't see anything. I was panicking. I said, I can't see anything. And she goes, well, it'll clear in a minute. I goes, well, when I had the first one done, when I sat up, I could see immediately with my right eye. So I thought, oh, sugar, what's she doing? She blinded me. And I was panicking because I felt like she'd hit me in the eye with a baseball bat. Whereas with the right eye, I didn't feel a thing. Felt a little bit of discomfort, but nothing bad. So, but anyway, it cleared the day after, yeah. Miguel has put a post on Facebook saying he's feeling a little bit better. I don't know whether he'll come on or not, but he did say that he's feeling a bit better. Hi, Enid, and where were you last week? We missed you. We missed you last week, Enid. Where was you? We were all saying, where's Enid? Yeah, and the person who asked me who Miguel was, I can't remember who it was now. Can't remember. She asked me on YouTube. You've gone a bit dark on the interwebs. Oh, I'm not going to ask why. Oh, your friend Zenny, your friend Jenny, she's had her cataracts done as well. Oh, it's been a revelation, honestly, Trevor. I didn't realise how bad my eyes were until they got done. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Sandra. Oh, hi, Ethan. I try not to look at news, Enid. I just really don't look at news. Yeah. It's not too much maybe on your Facebook, maybe, but it's not. Hi, Jill. Hi, Isaac. We're getting more guys on now. Hi, Isaac. The guys are swelling in numbers. Yeah, we were late having our dinner because we got unexpected guests. Oh, we're not talking about it on YouTube. You're quite safe here, Enid. We don't discuss things like that. So you're quite safe here. We won't be triggering anything. Unless you get PTSD about my eyes. And my weird hair colour, which I apologised for earlier. I decided to go grey gracefully, but I dyed it with silver grey, and unfortunately it went Mrs. Slocum blue. I've shampooed it a couple of times since then, and it has gone more grey. So, well, all right, you're among friends, Enid. We're not talking about it here, yeah. We don't talk about the news unless it's Miguel's news. And has he fallen over again? Yeah. But apparently he's feeling a bit better. I'm not saying he's right. He's not 100%, but he is feeling better. He did post a message saying he was. He was making hats for his mailman and for everybody who'd been kind to him while he was poorly, yeah. You've discovered the most amazing band from Manchester. Oh, right. Yeah, we have got some. Yeah. We have got Oasis, but we don't talk about them. Yes, the Chameleons. Yeah, I have heard about them. Yeah. Yeah, we only have crafting news on here or news about people falling over like Miguel. You're trying to win a sloth or a sloth. How do you pronounce that? Sloth, sloth. Oh yeah, well we've got rockers, bikers, whatever you want to call them, living here. Yeah, yeah. I did say to Miguel he needs to buy a crash helmet, but he said he didn't need to because there's rarely any ice in Texas where he is. And I thought, well, if there's rarely any ice, how come you keep falling over? Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, we're all having a good evening. We're all crafting and forgetting about news. We're not talking about news, unless it's good news, of course. If anybody's got good news, we welcome it with open arms. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, that machine with a grab arm. I never won a darn thing with that. You know, when I was a kid, I used to always want. You should be avoiding caffeine, but you've got a Pepsi Zero. Well, does Pepsi Zero have caffeine? Oh, it doesn't have any sugar in, does it? Yeah. Yeah. You're having a great day. Oh, I'm glad. Is everybody else having a great day? I'm having a good day. I've not fallen over. That's a good thing, isn't it? Because you know what I'm like, you know. I'm a bit like Miguel, really. I can rarely stay on two legs. But, mind you, I have been sat down. So there's not much chance of me falling over. I mean, you knew I fell off the dining chair last week. I sat on the dining chair and sort of sat on the edge of it and it just tipped over. Yeah. It's 8 degrees C here, so it's not exactly. It's not been raining. My son managed to empty the garage. Yeah, that's all I ever used to winter, fresh air. When that grabber used to come, or he should grab it like that, and as it went up, it would slip out of its grasp. You went for a mile hike around the thing? Oh, gosh. Too energetic, Enid. Too energetic. Oh, you've had a great day as well, have you, Jeannie? Hi, Connie. You had a good day. Yeah, my day's been okay. You know. Hi, BB. Yeah, you've been missed. You've been missed, BB. Nice to have you back again. Used to walk 6 miles every day. I maybe did when I was about 20, but not that. Oh, you're not on your own, Kaz. I did 2 fronts on this waistcoat and discovered I'd done them. I come to the back and the back was that narrow and I thought something's not quite right here. I realised I'd done the fronts too wide because I've done it all in one piece, you see, at the bottom. So I had 2 wide fronts, which I just had to pull back again. Yeah. Oh, there's nothing nicer than having a snuggle. I had to snuggle with Trixie today. They went out and well, my son was in the garage and um, Trixie can't walk very far, so she has to be picked up a lot. So my daughter-in-law took Rosie out for a walk because she was allowed to go out for a walk today. Only a short one, but she was allowed to go out for a walk after her operation. She got spayed, you see. And yeah, Irene offered to light the burner for me, but it's not been that cold today. Last week I was nearly sweating cops, yeah. Am I doing another of the tops? Yeah, I've done some. I've done some tops, yeah. I did put some pictures on Facebook. You know, you would never think that, apart from her being shaved on her belly, you'd never think how that Rosie had had an operation. She's running about like there's nothing wrong with her. When I had my hysterectomy, I was laid low for about 5 weeks. Yeah. So, who's been buying wool? I haven't. Who's been buying wool? I've been good. I've got enough. I did go in the shed and I put everything into bags instead of being in those big plastic boxes, because I'm not supposed to lift anything for the next, I think it's 6 weeks or something strange. Because you can put, if you put your head down or you lift anything heavy, you can put pressure behind your eyes. So I'm not supposed to do it. So I did all that so that I can just say to my son to go and get the bags out of the shed, so he knows which have been sorted. I've got to bring them in sometime this week and put prices on things, yeah. Oh, you've got some new cross-stitch stuff, have you got? I can't do cross-stitch, can't see it. You went to Wilco's and Poundland and bought some wool. Woo! No, are you going? We'll see you in a bit, Trev. No, I bought a lot, if you remember, the other week. So I'm using. Yeah, my eyes are both done and I can see the difference now. When I close that eye, I can still almost read, but it's not blurred anymore. It's just I can't quite pick it out. But once I get my glasses, I'm only having readers though. I'm not paying for 2 pairs of glasses, am I, heck? I don't drive, and my scooter only goes slow, so I can see enough in front of me so I won't run anybody over. So there's no way I'm paying for 2 pairs of glasses, am I, the heck? Yeah, he said to me, the optician, oh, when you come back, you need a pair for distance and you need a pair for reading. I thought, nope. I'll pay for a pair of readers and I'll ask him to direct me to the inexpensive frames. I don't need designer glasses just for reading, you know. I told you, every penny I'm earning is going off to pay that scooter. I should be happier than anything. And we just got a letter today about all the fuel going up, you know, all the gas and the electric and everything. I get £4 a week extra in April on my pension. I feel so sorry for people who've only got their pension. £4 a week is not going to go anywhere near paying the cost of the old dear's fuel bills. You know, you get the varifocals. Your husband's using them, baby. Get them back off him. Yeah, we're going to, luckily it's getting warmer, so hopefully we won't need the heating on, except, you know, like to, yeah, £4 will just about buy me a coffee, Jill, you know. It won't even buy me any fuel for my log fire. We'll be going round chopping trees with the axe, be like, Woodman, spare that tree, won't we? Picking up driftwood, drying it in the garden so we can burn it later. Yeah, oh right, he had his eyes done. Yeah, I've had mine done. I can see to read, but I think I will need reading glasses just when I'm reading a book or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I want to start line drying the washing soon as I can, because there's nothing nicer, is there, than putting it out on the line and it comes back nice and fresh, doesn't it? Our tumble dryer, everything seems to come out of it quite wet. We have to put it on twice to get it to dry. I don't know why. My old washing machine, which I left at my old house, things used to come out of that almost dry. Really spun it to death and it come out almost dry. This washing machine doesn't. Comes out wet. You know. We've got one of those umbrella things which I hate. It takes me ages to try and put it up. I have to like get underneath it and push it up. I prefer a line, but I know they don't look nice across the garden, but I still prefer a line. You know, but still. Yeah. I bought clothes airer thing because when I had nowhere to block my clothes because I used to block things out outside when it was nice weather, but it's not been nice enough to block anything out, and you have to, well, not properly block it out, but you know what I mean. You have to dampen it down, otherwise your granny squares don't lie flat. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, what I've been doing here is I found a ball of I think it was Karen Simply Soft or something. I found one ball of it, so I did a load of squares, and I'm just making it into a waistcoat. Yeah. So, yeah, mine's not a maiden as such. It's flat, and it has two bits that open out like wings. But it's better for me that to dry me things flat on top. Um, I can hang them over the rails and stick it outside, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I prefer to do that actually than put that blunking umbrella up. I hate it. Hi, Amanda Jane. Hi. I had, well, I still have a niece, I suppose, but she's a niece through marriage, which I'm not married anymore. So I don't know. I don't see her anymore. But she's called Amanda Jane. But she hasn't got the Y in her Jane. She's just plain Jane, if you know what I mean. But I haven't seen her for years and years. Our washer doesn't spin things very well. They come out wet. Yeah. So we shall see how we go. Yeah, I'm still crotcheting away. But this next week coming, I've got to take everything out of the bags, put little swing tickets on them, and get them all folded up nicely, ready to take with me on Friday. Because Friday I'm taking the stuff to the church hall. I'm getting a lift by the lady who is running it. She's giving me a lifting on the Friday. So I can just get a lifting on the Saturday morning. I mean, if push comes to shove, I can get a taxi if nobody's around to take me. Because I don't want to take my scooter. I've already warned my son. I said I want him to bring me back again with my bags. So I'm hoping I don't have as many bags on the way back as I have on the way up. Live in hope, die in despair, My friend's meeting me there. She's bringing some little crochet bits and pieces. She made some little bunnies, some little rabbits, some little all sorts of things. So she's meeting me there with her stuff. Well, yeah, I don't know what it is. I only put my washing on a 30s, and I don't know whether that's the problem. It doesn't spin it as quick. And my daughter-in-law doesn't seem to have a problem. Yeah. When she does her washing, it doesn't come out wet through. Mine comes out dripping wet. And she said to me, put it on the spin. And I can't find just the spin on our washer. It's rinse and spin, which takes about another 3/4 of an hour. And I thought, well, I don't want to rinse and spin it. I just want to spin it for about 5 minutes, yeah. And I can't find the program on our washer. My daughter-in-law can find it. I scrutinise everything and I can't find it. It's one of them programs, them washing machines with about 99 programs. It's too complicated for me. I like one that's on, off, and just the temperature, I don't like all this. What there's about. Even the tumble dryer's got 16 programs. Yeah. I'm eating caramel. I feel the need for chocolate tonight. I don't touch anything electrical in this house, Amanda. That's up to them. I just put the washing in. Oh my God, Isaac, I'd never no chance of that. No, I'll have to tell her to ask me how to spin it because it came out dripping wet through this. That's what I did. Some days it's not bad. Other days it comes out wet. We'll see. I like my scissors. Aren't they nice? Daylight saving time. I think ours is the end of March. You've had a chocolate Aero. I've got, oops, dairy milk caramel. March 27th, Cass says. It must be Mother's Day soon. They keep doing the adverts for the flowers, don't they? Oh, that's a bit of a swizz, isn't it? The clocks change on Mother's Day. So we lose an hour's sleep on Mother's Day. Ha ha. Very good. Very nice. Just what you want on Mother's Day, an hour less sleep. I wonder where Chris is tonight. I wonder if he's cooking. Oh, hey, Shad. Yeah, Chris must be still doing his cooking. Kelly, I don't know. I've sent her a couple of messages and she's not replied, so I haven't bothered anymore. Sue, I spoke to her yesterday and she's absolutely fine. Yeah. I don't know whether Kelly's working or what, but she's not answered my messages. So there comes a time when you think, oh, sack it, don't you? You know, I'll wait while she gets in touch with me. Yeah, you have to share Mother's Day with your son, Connie. That's a bit sad, isn't it? Hey, oh. It's all like little shells today, Shad. You can see them. Little bits of shell is what I've got on. Youngest of 5. I often wonder what I'd have been like if I'd have had more than one child. I probably would have had white hair by now. I was never very good at being a mother. Wasn't very motherly. Maternal, is it the word? You know, some people gather babies to their bosoms, don't they? No, not me. Have I been to sea? No, I went to eBay, got them off eBay. They're like seashells. Yeah, they feel like they're real seashells. They don't feel plasticky. They feel like bits of shell. Hey ho. Don't know whether Miguel will come on, even though he's feeling a bit better. He might come on later. If he's had a little lie down. Who knows? Yeah, I can't walk on the pebbles. We've got sand here, but we've also got sea defences. And the sea defences are like big rocks, and then there's little pebbles. So you know me, I cannot walk in a straight line anyway. So walking on pebbles is just a big no-no for me. I'd be flat on my face in about 2 seconds flat. I never was much good at walking on sand, actually. My my anything under my feet has got to be perfectly flat. If anything's a little bit like that in the pavement or anything or the road, that's me fall over. I've been like that for about the last 20 years. It's something to do with a balance in my back, I think, or something. So, eh, 5 children. I can't imagine what it'd be like to have 5. Did he set off to have 5, or did it just happen? No, when he got married, he said, I'm going to have 5 kids. When I got married, I wanted 2. Sadly, I only got 1, but I never wanted any more than 2. I worked out 2 was enough. Some people are very maternal, though. They actually want about 6 kids. "13." I mean, my gran had 16. My other gran had 9, but she only finished up with 7 because 2 died in infancy. I had a friend with 9. More than 10, less than 20. She like the Waltons or that weirdy family. You know, the one with the pervy son. The one who used to be on telly. Duggars. That's them. I mean, back in the day, you know, there wasn't all the help that you could get, let's just say, not to have children. My friend who had 9 children, honest to God, they were so well behaved. They were fantastic. And she had them all organised. They all had their own little jobs to do and they did it. And if I went to a house, you know, one of them would jump up out of a chair and say, sit here, do you want to drink a tea, coffee? Well behaved children, absolutely well behaved. Yeah. They all had a chair by their bed and the clothes, their clean clothes for the day were all there and the shoes with the socks in, you know, she had everything. And the breakfast, the dishes were all laid the night before, you know, the bowls and everything, um, you know, with the cereal and stuff. So all she had to do was, you know, take the milk in and stuff. They were such well-behaved children, honestly, they were. Sadly, she died really young. She um, she died with breast cancer. I mean, I hope all the children, well, they had their dad, but they were self-sufficient, so I suppose they would have coped better than Other people who's lost their mums, yeah. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, there was a movie years ago called Cheaper by the Dozen, wasn't there? I remember watching that before, that was long before I got married. And they lived on a bus and they used to go around. Yeah, they were a weird family, those, the Duggars, I think. There's another family that comes on television, I don't watch them, but they've got loads of kids, but they've had like triplets, twins, haven't they? So they've actually only been pregnant about 4 or 5 times, but they keep getting multiples all the time. Can you imagine if you get every time you go and get pregnant, it's like, you know, whatever, you get triplets or something. I've coloured mine grey. Look at that. Look, look. The only person who dyes the hair grey. Mm-hmm. And now I've done it, I can't dye it for another 6 weeks because I can't get anything in my eyes. So I'm stuck with this colour now, even if I want to change it. Yeah, well, that's what I was getting. I had a lot of grey hair and it was coming through the blonde because obviously I wasn't a natural blonde. And yeah, they're Radford, yeah, but they don't live on benefits. I mean, that's one thing about them. He works, doesn't he? He's got a bakery or something, I think, at the Radford, yeah. I don't mind people having lots of kids if they look after them themselves, you know. I don't want the state to look after them, yeah. I'm growing it out, so whatever colour it happens to be when it grows out, Jill. It's white at the sides, that's my own bit. That is definitely me, white sides. My hair is in a terrible condition because I bleached it for too long. So I'm just going to have no hair left if I don't stop doing something with it soon. So it's either cut it off really, really short or grow it out. So I've decided I'll grow it out. Whether I will like it when it grows out is another matter. I'm saying this now, but in another few weeks I might be saying, oh no, I can't cope with it. I can't cope with it. I want to go back. I want to be silver grey. I don't want to be that awful dark salt and pepper colour. I want to be the pale colour like my mum was. My mum had fantastic hair. It was like really pale silver grey, almost white. Two of my grands, they were white, yeah. Oh, I don't suit a bob. That's one thing I don't suit. I don't know whether it's because I've got fat cheeks, but if it's ear length, nah, it has to be shoulder length. And I don't suit short hair, which is funny because you think because I put my hair up, I would suit it short, but I don't. I look like chipmunk, like that. But you know, but an ear length bob, no. I've got very, very thin hair, Jill, very, very thin. So I can't style it, and if I start to blow dry it, it starts to split on the ends and go all weird. I wish I had thick hair. When my mum was dying, bless her, she was doling out her jewellery and her brain. And she was saying, I want you to have this ring. I want, you know, my granddaughters to have this ring and stuff like that. And I'm saying, I don't want your jewellery, mother. I want your hair. She had thick, thick hair. And I got my dad's. My dad was bald. I got my dad's hair. Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I can't do anything with hair, Joe. I'm useless. I cannot style hair. I've never been able to style hair. Oh, I'd love curly hair. It's always the way, isn't it? People who've got straight hair want curly hair, don't they? People who've got curly hair want it straight. Well, we're never happy. I'd love a riot of curls like it was all permed. My friend had hair like that. I loved it. She had this wild riot of curls. She was a redhead as well, and she absolutely loathed it. And I loved her hair. I'd have given anything to have her hair. You know, she didn't have it permed or anything. It was all natural. Oh dear. But no, I've got weedy hair. Yeah. But my mum, she had hair, honestly. It was like, all her sisters were the same as well. They all had really big mops of hair. So where I got this from, I don't know. Even my brother had more hair than me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 3 more rows to do. My hair used to be really good condition when I was younger. It's only since I've been older. I think it's, I'll look at that later, Enid. I think it was the, you know, the mental pause that did it with me. After I got to the mental pause, it went thin. There's a lot to be said. Why am I got it telling me? Oh, it's gone now. They don't tell you things like that, do they? Yeah, the mental pause, yeah. Or the menopause, yeah. They don't tell you that these things happen. That your skin goes dry, your hair falls out, you grow a moustache. They don't tell you all this bit, do they? They don't tell you all the fun parts. Auto cucumbers got you again. Oh dear. Never mind, there's always a wig. There's a good wig shop on Fleetwood Market. I can always go and get a wig. I had mine zapped. I spent a fortune on it when I was working, having it all zapped. It didn't zap it all away, but at least it got rid of the black ones, yeah. Can Cass sing? Yeah. Oh, my eyebrows have disappeared. That's one thing that has disappeared. I used to have thick monobrow, you know, like those Eastern European ladies have, yeah. No, I don't have any hairy armpits anymore. They stopped growing years ago. That's one bit about the mental pause that I liked. The hair stopped growing under my arms. Still got it on my legs, sadly. But at least the hair on my arms is lighter coloured now. I used to have black hairy arms. I used to look like, they used to call me a monkey at school. You know, when you get teased at school, they call me a monkey. So I used to wear long sleeve dresses even in the summer because I was so conscious about my arms being hairy. Hi, Deborah. Hello. It's funny how we have these hang-ups when we're kids, isn't it? I look at photographs of myself when I was in my teens and 20s, and I'm looking at them now thinking, hey, I wasn't that bad, you know. You're like a hairless chihuahua. I wish I was, Shan. Except for my head. Oh my God, when I was young, I used to have to shave my arms, shave here. My mother used to say, stop doing that, stop doing that. I used to say, oh, I'm getting teased at school. They keep calling me monkey. How's Blackpool? I don't know. I don't go to Blackpool. Fleetwood's fine. Blackpool is not my favourite place in the world, even though I live right next door. Well, not right next door to it. I live within 10 miles of it. You know, but Blackpool, no, not keen. You still do shave your arms, do you? You're hairless, are you, as well? Oh, dear. No, I don't like Blackpool. I found it a bit scruffy. I'm sure there must be nice parts about it, but it looks tatty. You know, it's like a sad, faded town that's past its best, you know. I once went out with a bodybuilder who used to shave all his body hair. It was weird. It was weird when they got. I mean, he had no body hair everywhere he shaved it. Yeah. Hi, Lulu's treasure. And I said to him, I said, well, who shaves it? Who takes it off? And he said, oh, I've got a very good friend who does it for me. I said, a woman? And he went, yeah. And I thought, a bit dodgy that, isn't it? You know, I'm dating you and you're letting some other woman shave your bits. No, no, I thought it was a bit strange. No. Oh, I like men with a bit of body hair. I don't like him like a monkey, I must admit. I once dated a guy and he could have plaited his hair on his chest. Oh, that was a bit too much. And hairy backs. Oh, God, no, that turns me off. No, I moved to Fleetwood, yeah. It's not got a bad market, Fleetwood, yeah. I know, it's weird when they've got no hair. Yeah, they shave everywhere. I don't mind a hairy chest, like I say, but I don't like a hairy back. Reminds me too much of a gorilla, you know? Yeah. Yeah, no, this guy, he had no body hair at all. It took me a while to realise what was odd, you know, because when you're in the first stages of dating, you don't get to see the intimate bits, do you? You know what I mean? But I kept thinking there's something odd about his arms. You know, obviously I didn't see his legs because he had his trousers on, but he had short sleeve t-shirts on, and I kept thinking there's something odd. And it took me a while to realise he'd shaved all the hair off his arms. Yeah. And then when I found out he had no body hair, that, yeah, kind of put me off a bit. He didn't stay my boyfriend for very long, yeah. My dad was very hairy. He frightened the life out of me when I was a kid. Because in the old days, we didn't have a bathroom. We had to have a bath in front of the fire. And I'd gone to bed, and my dad used to have a bath, obviously, when I was in bed. And one day I must have been sick or ill or something and came downstairs, and my dad was in the bath in front of the fire. And I just screamed and screamed and screamed. My mum kept saying, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I kept saying, my dad's a monkey, my dad's an ape. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that fashion where they show their underpants. I'd rather see a builder's crack than underpants. And I'm always a bit suspicious when I see a guy with a G-string. You know, when they bend over and it's a G-string. You're like, ooh, bit weird there. Something weird going on there. I don't even like to see women's G-strings when they stick out above the trousers. You know, you feel like saying, oh, for goodness sake, stop showing your undies. Yeah. Somewhere to put your credit. Yeah, you're right there. Somewhere to swipe your credit card. It's not so bad when they've got a shapely bottom, is it? But when they've got a big, fat, waffly white one. I don't like leggings when they're not wearing any underwear. You know what I mean, ladies? You know, when they don't cover the front bum. Very rude. You know, you feel like saying, it's not. It's very indelicate. To show that part of your anatomy when you're walking down the street. Hey, don't we get on some subjects here? Yeah, definitely one of those, Jill. The worst one I ever saw was, yeah, the worst one I ever saw was a woman, she must have been about 65, and she had a pair of white, um, like pedal pushers on, stretchy pedal pushers, and she didn't have any underwear on, and I'm like, oh my goodness, at your age, you should know better. Hello, Miss Glow's Crochet Creations. Sandals and socks. Not unless they're on safari, you know. If they've got to wear sandals and socks, they should wear knee socks, shouldn't they? Knee socks. Hey. Oh, I finished the back now. Oh, my dad used to say that about big girls wearing those spandex pants. And they were always mums, and they were always out with their babies in the buggies, you know, the trolleys, the strollers, and they'd be bending over them. And my dad used to say, oh my God, if that back seam just happens to give, there'll be an explosion all over Ryan. Oh, yeah, but I'd rather see men with knee socks on like the postmen wear. I'd rather see that than see men wearing, you know, like sandals and ankle socks. Or worse still, it's not so bad if they're wearing sports socks, but when they're wearing like grey woolly socks with sandals, you know, there's something not quite right about that. You know, when they're wearing the kind of socks that you would wear with ordinary, like I say, business shoes, yeah? And they go on holiday and they haven't even bothered to buy some nice white sports ones, you know? And you're thinking, yeah. Does your wife know you're out? I very rarely wear socks. Man, I must admit the other night I had to get out of bed and put a pair on. My feet were flipping freezing. I couldn't get to sleep. My feet were like blocks of ice. So I had to get out of bed and go and find me. Well, the slipper socks, actually. I had to go and find me slipper socks. Yeah. But I very rarely wear socks at all. I must have about 20 pair of socks I've knitted. And they're all in pristine condition because I never wear them. That's why I can't understand why people pay a fortune for sock yarn. Somebody sent me a private message saying that they'd seen this lady had been to one of these knit and stitch shows, and she'd bought an absolute mountain of this hand-dyed yarn. And when you think some of it's $20 a skein, she must have spent thousands. And I'm like, is she going to make socks with that? You know, I'd just walk about in socks. Was that you, Lydia? Yeah, honestly. It was an obscene amount of wool, wasn't it, that? I used to know somebody on who used to come and do YouTube videos, and all it was her showing all this hand-dyed yarn she'd bought her. And she couldn't knit hardly. To me, that was like a form of bragging, you know, like, I wouldn't have minded if she was able to make something with it. You know, if they make something fantastic with it, but when you just buy it and show it off on YouTube videos, it's like, look how rich I am, look what I've bought, look how much. You know, if you look at my videos, it's like, I've been in Poundland, been in Pound Stretcher, I bought this in the sale, yeah. You don't get me paying £20 for one skein of yarn. It goes against me nature. It really does go against the grain, you know, having to pay that amount of money. Oh, you're going, Connie? Bye, Connie. Good night. I don't know what it is. It's like even clothes. I will pay for a decent pair of shoes or a decent pair of boots that I know I'm going to get wear out of. But I really object to paying a lot of money for clothes. Unless, like you say, it's a really decent winter coat. I mean, my winter coat, I've had it for about 5 years now. But no, it's not being derogatory. It's just you wonder, is she just buying it for the sake of buying it, or will she actually use all that wool? You know, if I had that kind of money, I don't think I'd spend it on that. You know, but there's no danger of that because I don't have that kind of money and I never will have. I'm the kind of person who has to save up for everything, like most of us on here. I don't think any of us on here could waltz out and go and spend a couple of £100 on wool. Unless I've got some secret millionaires on here that I don't know about. I'm an oddity with fashion. When I was younger, I used to go mad if anybody had the same clothes on as me. You know, I didn't, you know, and I still don't. If I make something for myself, you can bet your boots I don't use a pattern, or if I do use a pattern, I alter it. And then when people say, you know, how did you make that? Or tell me what pattern it is, I'll say, well, I can tell you which pattern I started off using, you know, but I can't tell you what I did because I just alter it to fit myself as I go along, you know. Because I would hate to bump into somebody else that's wearing exactly the same thing as me. I really, really, even from being young, my mum used to always say, I used to have a friend who used to copy what I bought or copy what I did. And my mum used to say to me, oh, you know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And I used to say, no, I don't want to wear it anymore. And she'd say, why not? I said, because she's went and got, you know, she's gone and got one exactly like mine. So then I would alter mine. I would put lace on it, or I would alter the buttons, or I would do something. Oh, yeah, some people, the way they throw clothes out, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I want to find a nice charity shop in a really good area, you know, where they throw really. But you see, they're not going to be fatties, are they, like me? They're going to be skinny minis, aren't they? People who wear designer clothes, yeah. Yeah, I can't stand, I mean, it's like when everybody was doing the, you know, these corner to corner blankets and they were all doing the same thing. And I'm like, you're like sheep. Do something different. I must admit, I made the virus shawls, but only when anybody else had stopped making theirs. You know, it's like somebody puts a pattern up, don't they? And everybody, every woman and a dog wants to make one. You know, and I'm thinking, just be individual. Just don't make the same as everybody else, yeah? Why do you all want to look the same? To me, that would drive me insane. I do not want to look the same as anybody else. No, I don't follow fashion, as you know by looking at me. I don't follow fashion. If I buy something that's in fashion, it's a coincidence, yeah. I buy a lot of my stuff off eBay, which is like going into charity shops, isn't it, really? It's like an online charity shop, yeah. Yeah, I just don't want people to wear the same as me. You've got to make some French press coffee. My coffee's gone cold. No, I love to be individual. I've just bought myself a new skirt. I'll wear it when I go to the craft shop. It's a gypsy skirt. It wouldn't be anything else. And I did buy that new, which is unusual for me, but I did fall in love with it. And it's a thicker one. It's like a nice warm one. I used to love a good rummage in a charity shop, but I hate to say it, but round here the charity shops are a bit low brow. You can't get anything decent, yeah. When I lived in Prestwich, there was quite a lot of ladies in Prestwich who had a lot of money. So you used to get some really nice bargains in the charity shops there. Really good bargains, yeah. Yeah. You went a bit too long on your sage wrap. Why is it oversized? No, I like shawls. People say, oh, shawls are old fashioned. Oh, Miguel says hi, he's cooking. Oh, that's a good sign, isn't it? He's cooking. No, I like to wear shawls and oversized things. My sort of idol is, what's she called? Oh, Lord above. Stevie Nicks kind of style. That's what I mean, I used to rebel because obviously when I worked in the job centre, I had to wear office clothing, yeah. And You know, I had to wear suits, blouses, whatever you want to call it. What I call boring old, what's its clothes, yeah. Oh my God, and you've done 50, and you got carried away there, didn't you, Enid? I hated that. As soon as I stopped work, I gave all my clothes away to a women's refuge for battered women. Yeah, gave all my clothes away. And my business shoes, the high heel pump things that you have to wear at work. Gave them all away. All the blouses, everything. 13 bin bags I gave them. I said to them, can somebody collect them? I said, because I don't have a car. And he said, oh, can't you get somebody to drop them off? I said, I've got 13 bin bags. When he come, he went, oh, you really have got 13 bin bags? I thought you meant 13 carrier bags from the supermarket. I went, no, there's 13 black bin bags full of clothes and shoes. Because I was vowed and determined I would never wear straight skirts, blazers, jackets, stuff ever again. So they all went. And I don't possess a blouse as such, the ones with the buttons up the front and the collars. Definitely not my style. You're back, BB. Where did you go, or was it nice where you went? That's what I want to know. I was watching Jane McDonald doing her cruising. She went to Iceland, was it? Saw the northern lights and everything. Yeah, she was doing river cruising. And then she went to Portugal on another one. You went to clean your kitchen, oh, of course. How domesticated. Oh, I better not sing. I might lose all my customers. Oh dear. Yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to wear with my skirt on Saturday. I have to look reasonably boho-y, don't I? Because that's my style, isn't it? Boho crochet. So I don't want to look a bit boring, do I? Oh, I used to love my stilettos. What am I making now? I'm making a waistcoat. You'll see it when it's done. I used to be quite good at walking in stilettos. I had quite a little sexy wiggle. I used to wear my little straight skirts and my Madonna bras. Today's young girls cannot walk in heels to save their souls. Men in drag walk better in heels than they do. It was a ball of, I think it was Karen Simply Colours or something I had in my stash, so I've used it up. Yeah, I used to get quite a few wolf whistles in my time when I was younger. And it was the Marilyn Monroe walk, yeah. Yes, I did have my second eye done. I had it done on Wednesday by a female surgeon who I think she operated on me with what do you call it? A corkscrew. She was definitely heavy-handed. But it's okay now. I thought she'd hit me in the eye with a baseball bat at the time, but because my first eye was absolutely fantastic, I hardly felt a thing. But the second one, I was like, "Ugh." And she kept saying, I kept saying, "You're hurting me, you're hurting me." She kept saying, "Oh, you've got anaesthesia, it'll soon be over. Soon be over." And I was like, mm. She kept saying, "Stay still," but I was shaking like that. Yeah, the first eye, I was so relaxed. He had a gentle touch, the surgeon. Thought, she was like, "Oh, I don't know. Has anybody paid for their cataracts to be done in America? How much do you cost?" "Hi, Patricia." "I don't know. Probably, if it's on the insurance, you know they always bump it up. You know, if you went private over here, it probably costs thousands because they think, oh, the insurance will pay." It was a very quick procedure. Maybe about 15, 20 minutes. That's all it was. I would have preferred not to be awake, I must admit. I would have preferred them to wake me up when it was all over. I hate anybody messing with my eyes. I'm hoping it's all done and I don't ever have to have anything done ever again. You've gone private, 4,000 for both eyes. Gosh. I would have been walking around blind then because I would have never afforded £4,000. I would love to be statuesque. I've hated being little. I always used to attract guys who were about 6'6". And my mate who was tall, she used to say, "How come you always get the really tall guys and I get the short ones?" I said, "I don't know. But I always did." I mean, the tallest guy I ever went out with was 6'7". He used to have to stand me on a step to kiss me goodnight. Otherwise, he said he nearly broke his neck. I didn't notice any difference in the colours, no. The only difference I noticed is nothing's fuzzy. My eyes were very, very fuzzy, just like I had Vaseline all over my eyes. But I never noticed any difference in the colours, no. Because I was hoping I wouldn't. I thought, I hope I'm not going to come out and find out the things I've crocheted don't look right because the colours don't look right anymore. But I never really noticed any difference. Other people have said to me, "Oh gosh, everything went really bright when I had them done." And I'm like, it didn't with me. The only difference was when I had one eye done was the other eye. It used to give me a headache. I think it was this eye was so fuzzy I couldn't see anything out of it. And I had more or less a permanent headache. My wrist's hurting. I've been crocheting all day. My wrist's hurting now. And I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. Yeah, it's really hurting me. It's me arthritis. Me arthritis. I don't know. I've got to. They said to me at the opticians, when you come back, you'll need 2 pair of glasses, one for long distance and one for reading. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not being conned into 2 pairs of glasses. I am not buying a pair for distance. I don't drive. And I've not run anybody over with my scooter, even when I had fuzzy eyesight. So I'm not buying 2 pair of glasses. Am I the devil? No. 1 pair will be fine. And I'm not getting designer frames either. I'll be saying, where's your cheap section? I'm only wearing them to read. I'm not that vain. I was sort of looking at them while I was waiting for my eye test. And they were like £100, 100 and something. You know, for the frames. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, right, I'm really going to pay that. Not. No, I haven't noticed any difference, Lydia, in the brightness of anything. I can see the TV now, and I can actually read the menu. Before before I had my right eye done, I couldn't read. You know what people were writing down the side of the screen? I was like that, trying to read it. Yeah, but now I can see it perfectly well sitting back here. I mean, maybe I'll need glasses for reading because, you know, maybe if I'm reading a book or something, I might. I've given up man watching. I think at my time of life and the kind of age group of the guys I'd be looking at, Trevor, I'd rather not see them. I'd rather they remained fuzzy. No, I'm definitely not looking for anything male or female for that matter. Somebody said that to me not long ago. And I said, oh, I'm not looking for a man. They said, oh, are you looking for a woman? Then I went, no, not looking for anybody. I'm quite happy as I am. I'd rather be as I am. I'd like a friend. It doesn't matter if it's a female friend or a male friend. You know, one you could go to the pub with or one you could go to the cinema with, you know. But it doesn't have to be a male friend. Oh, well, I don't actually live on my own, do I, Shad? But I did used to love living on my own. And to a certain extent, really, I am on my own here. Because, like, I've got my own living room, haven't I? So I can be alone if I want to be alone. But it just would be nice to have a friend I went to the cinema with or something like that. You know, but not one that's there all the time, you know, just one that you could meet maybe once a week or something. Or somebody you could go on holiday with, you know, so you're not on your own when you go on your holidays. But I don't really, you know, I don't miss anybody that much. Certainly don't want a man friend. I don't want a friend with benefits, if you know what I mean. The only benefits I want is if they crochet, do you know? Or they took me to wool shops and bought me some wool. That's what I call a friend with benefits these days. Man, in my time of life, a friend with benefits is somebody who's got eyesight and can actually still drive you. That's the only thing I'm interested in. If they could drive me out for the day. Yeah, I've got to knit club twice, yeah. And I did try to join the equivalent of the WI, but it wasn't for me. I'm 76 and I felt like a spring chicken. They were all old ladies. Probably not any older than me chronologically speaking, but they were old ladies. And I thought, no, not for me. Not for me. I hate it when people are older than they're old, you know, old. I mean, we've got one lady comes to Knit Club, she's 90. She is the life and soul of the place. She's really with it. She's funny. She cracks jokes. You know, I thought that's how I want to be when I'm 90. You know, she's so funny. Like when we say Alice, and she go Alice, Alice, who the Alice? You know that song. It's when a 90-year-old starts singing you that. She's got a finger on the ball, if you know what I mean. But when I went to this women's meeting thing, oh, they were old. You know, a bit like Mrs. Merton, you know what I mean? All perms and grey hair and twin sets, yeah. And I'm like, oh, no. No, no, no. Too old for me. And yet my evening knit club, most of them are older than me. There's two that's younger. They're just really on the ball. They're really funny. There's a difference between being chronologically old and mentally old, isn't there, you know? I miss my old place. I do miss Prestwich. Somebody sent me a video of like touring around Prestwich. I miss the cafe culture. The fact that I could just go on my scooter and there'd be a cafe, shops, Marks and Spencer's, Tesco's. Here, you can't even get a decent cup of coffee. You've got to go a mile up the road one way and 2-3 miles up the road the other way. We've not even got a cafe anywhere here at all. We've got a little grocery shop, a sandwich shop that is not a cafe, it's just a sandwich shop. And there's just nothing. I never realised how much I would miss like the cafe culture. You know, where you can just go out and get something to eat or treat yourself to breakfast or, you know, just decide to go and have a coffee and people watch. I miss all that. No, no. Where I am on my little bit of beach, there's just the seafront. There's no, it's not touristy in my bit at all. There's no cafes unless I go right up the seafront. Unless I go up to Cleveland's one way, which is about maybe a mile and a half, 2 mile. And, or I go to Fleetwood, which is a couple of miles the other way, yeah. You know, we're not all well seasoned, are we, Angel? Right, okay. What were you doing, Lydia? Were you just like muttering under your breath? People are creeping about, must be getting ready to go to bed. God, they're early. It's only 7:15. Oh, they're going out tomorrow. Oh, yeah, I can go. It's only just at the end of the street, Trev, where I live. Yeah, but my seafront is just a seafront, if you're with me. It's beautiful. It's all lovely concrete. It's got lovely slopes, you know, and everything, and you can watch the sea come in and out, but there's absolutely nothing. There's There's no cafes, there's no anything, there's no kiosks, there's nothing. It's just wild expanse of seafront. It's nice in the summer because you can sit up there and nobody bothers you. You know, you can sit and watch the waves and sit on my scooter and do my grocery, take a book up there, you know. But I just would like, you know, a bit of a cafe or something, you know, somewhere where I could just go and people watch, yeah. Well, it's a bit elderly around here anyway, so I'm not doing too bad. There's quite a lot of young ones, but I think Fleetwood by and large is an old town, elderly. No, there's no people, none at all. Hey, did you see that silver foxes? They're not getting another narrowboat. They bought a small holding in Scotland now, so they're no longer going to be cruising up and down anymore. They're getting goats and hens and stuff like that, and staying up in Scotland. That'd be different. What am I describing? I'm describing where I live. I'm next to the seafront where I live. Takes me about 5 minutes to get to the sea. But there's nothing around here, nothing at all. Yeah, they just announced it on their last video, Trev, that they're not buying another narrowboat. Oh, you're going, Isaac? Night, night, Isaac. Say hello to the pidgeys for me. Don't forget to tuck Dexter up. Make sure he's snuggled up tight and he doesn't get out. Yeah, we're very much a retired town, I think, here. You know, it's like mostly bungalows around here. So you tend to get the retired people. Doesn't bother me so much, you know. It's just I would like a bit more. I mean, I don't want life as in noise or clubs or anything like that. That's why I don't like Blackpool, because Blackpool's tatty to me. When I travel through it. Jill has just put on that he's cooking something because he's got a migraine. Shad, so that's what. Oh, he wants a mating partner. Don't you know anybody with a lady snake? You could let him have his few minutes of fun. You know, it's a lot of a Lonely Hearts, you know, dating site for snakes, where you put his picture up and see if any lady snakes answer. You know, like they are for people. Not that I want to advertise on one of those. I did once when I was in my 40s, but by goodness me, did I get a lot of frogs. Oh, dearie me. Yeah. Is there no websites that have snakes where you could find him a partner just for the night? You know, let him have a one night stand. Right, nighty night, Isaac. Yeah, Miguel. Jill said Miguel was cooking because he had a migraine. So he was cooking something to eat. So you You'd probably get the same in China, wouldn't you, or Japan, because they're all fairly small over there as well, Enid. I'd love to be taller. I can't even reach the top cupboards in the kitchen here. And it's a nightmare in the supermarket. Even before I was on my scooter. Now I'm on my scooter, I've got to ask people to reach things down for me. I always visualised Americans being taller than us Brits. You know, all this better food examples, you know, like when we were all on the rations, you weren't, yeah? My mum always blamed me being small on rationing and the fact that you couldn't get fresh fruit when I was, you know, before I was born, like when I was expected. She couldn't eat the diet that she should have done, you know, and even when I was little. I can't get things off the top of our fridge. The top shelf of the fridge. They put all the condiments at the top. Yeah, I might be tall if I was standing next to Jimmy Cranky. Yeah. Or what she called that, Kylie Minogue's only little, isn't she? I'd be like a giant stood next to Kylie Minogue, both ways. Yeah, I think my growing went that way. My son's always wanted to be 6 foot, and he's about ½ inch shorter. Same with his dad. His dad never made the 6 foot. He was about 5'11". My ex-husband always wanted to be 6 foot. Never quite made it. I used to be 5'4", but I'm about 5'2" now. Because when you get older, you shrink, and also my spine's shunted down, hasn't it? Since me ops and stuff. Well, hello, Chris. Where have you been? Kaz has been in a froth waiting for you to arrive. You got a letter to say why you're late, Chris? You have been missed, Mr. Chris. You took a shower. Must have been a long shower, mate. We've been here 2 hours. La 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 la. Why am I singing Funeral for a Friend? I had Elton John on in the shed in the middle of the week. It sort of stuck in my brain a bit. 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm spacing buttonholes now, so I'll probably do it wrong, so I'll probably have to undo it again. I never get it right the first time. My bottom still hurts after I fell off the chair. Don't talk about that, Chris. You'll have Kaz having one of her, and Enid having one of their funny turns. What am I making now? I'm making a waistcoat. It's my own design. I had one ball of that fancy wool at the bottom, so I decided to make granny squares. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing the buttonhole band. Now, we've got daylight saving on Mother's Day, apparently, so somebody told me earlier. March the 27th. Yeah, I finished off my other things. I showed them earlier on, but there wasn't that many people on before. I finished that one off. It's the same back and front. It's from an old 70s pattern. I made one before, if you remember, in red. This one I made with the boho spirit. Little vesty top. This one my friend wants, but I refused to sell it to her. That one, which is different back to front because the colours are different. Would be nice if I could wear those, yeah. And then this was one ball of black light I had. So I decided to use it up. I think the straps are a bit long. I think somebody's going to be showing their boobies, but never mind. That's one ball of black light I had. I'm just using one ball. It smells really weird. And this was, I think it's Karen wool, that one was. I've just thrown the label away. So, oh yeah, it'll be me in the club, of course, dancing. Yeah. Yeah, my friend likes that white one, and I said to her, she goes, how much are you going to sell it for? I said, I don't know. I said, it actually cost me quite a lot, really, because I had to buy one ball of each of all the bright colours. So unless I can sell it, make more with different colours, I'm out of pocket. I said, do you make one? I said, she can crochet. She goes, I don't have all the colours. I said, well, neither did I. I had to buy them all. I didn't have bits in my shed anymore because I gave them all away. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, my coccyx hurts. I'm being polite there, aren't I? Because that was the bit I walloped when I fell off the chair. I landed on my coccyx. La, 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 la. Yep, it has to come back. I didn't get it right with my spacing. I never do the first time. 2, 4, 6. We'll try it with 7. 8 was too much. That's 8 spaces. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Oh, I know. I misjudged the chair. I sat on the end of the dining chair and I wasn't on it properly, and it tipped because I sat on the edge instead of sitting on it properly. My own fault. And I went boof. And I was on the floor with the 2 dogs licking me. And then my daughter-in-law come walking in, and then she goes, do you mean to be down there? And I went, no, I can't get up. She said, oh, I thought you got down there to look for something. I said, no, fell. I've fallen about 5 times since I've been here in 14 months, so that's good for me. Some of the time I've managed to get myself up, but just recently I can't kneel, you see. I can't turn on my knees to get up. So I'm a bit stuck, really, when I fall over. I'm a bit like a turtle on its back. So I get told off and they're going, what if you fall over and we're not in? And I'm like, well, I don't mean to fall over. It's a wonder I've not fallen over the little one. She's so little. And she walks like in front of you. Like cats weave in and out your feet. Trixie does that. She weaves in and out your feet when you're walking. She's going to have me on the floor before long. I know she is. My goodness me, the wind's blowing down the chimney. Oh, when I get a bee in my bonnet, Jean, I get crochet and I get the bug on me. And then when I stop, I don't know what to do with myself. I've got to have like a project, If I haven't got any projects, I don't know what to do. I can't just, mind you, I'm supposed to be crocheting that second throw for the, I've got all the wool, all the yarn, I should say. It's not wool. I've got all the wool for it to do the second granny square throw, but I've not exactly felt in the mood for it, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, it's a good job I'm with my family because I have to phone them. My friend says to me, "Do you keep your phone with you?" I said, "Yeah, wherever I am, the phone's there." So if I fall over, I can always phone a friend. It's not been raining here today, but I can hear the wind blowing down the chimney. It must have started. When it starts blowing, we could rent the sound effects out, for one of those horror movies. Ooh. Oh, I forgot I brought my lemonade in. My 7-Up. Why is it called 7-Up? Anybody got any ideas? Ooh, it's very sweet. That face will be the one that they always put, when you have what do they call them? A little photograph for your video. They always pick one where I'm going. They never pick one where I look halfway decent. Yeah, what would we do without Facebook? I mean, I chat to relatives now in New Zealand and Australia that I'd lost touch with for years because I didn't know where they lived. I didn't have their address. I wouldn't have wanted to phone them because I didn't feel as though I had much in common. But yet we could say hi now, hey. I talked to my cousins in Canada and my cousins in America, which I never could speak to before. Oh, is it 7 kinds of sweetness? They're very sweet, this. I haven't had any 7-Up for a long time. But I went into the kitchen and that's all there was, yeah. Yeah, Facebook has its uses, Trev, honestly. I know it's got some bad things about it, but at least you can keep in touch with your rellies cheap without having to pay phone bills. I had lost touch with most of my cousins until Facebook. And now all of a sudden there they all are. Yeah, I mean, my age group, I never would have thought that I would have ever been able to speak to people like in America without having to pay. Where I think I had a couple of pen friends in America when I was younger, and you used to have to kind of like save up, and you had the clock next to you, knowing that I can only spend like 10 minutes on the phone with them. Well, now, I used to Google, what's it called, Google thing? Google, that app where you can see people, like a video thing. I don't do it now because I haven't got really any friends that are on there anymore. But I used to chat to people on the Google. I don't know many people on WhatsApp, really. I've got WhatsApp, if anybody wants to WhatsApp. Yeah, no, when I was a kid, I used to have pen friends in America. They gave them to us at school. Um, Mine was Anne-Marie. Yeah, those little airmail envelopes. Mine was Anne-Marie Seneschal and Paulette Bajard. And I often wonder where they are now, because obviously the addresses I had from years ago would be. I don't know why we stopped writing to each other. I think we got to be teenagers and stuff like that. But we used to write to each other about once a fortnight or something. Yeah. It was part of our French lessons. The French teacher came in and said, I think it would improve your French if you had pen friends. So he tried to find boys, for the boys to write to, because when the first couple of years at school, it was mixed. It went into a girls' school after 2 years. They split it into the girls and the boys in separate schools. But for the first 2 years at my grammar school, I was a mixed. So they gave us pen friends. For some reason or other, I finished up with two. A lot of the people who wrote, they didn't get replies back. It was supposed to improve they were supposed to write to me in English, and I was supposed to write to them in French. You know. Oh, some of the social media. I just don't enter into any of that where people get angry about political things and stuff like that. If you're not political like I am, then I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, oh God. I just don't enter into it. I'd rather watch animals being rescued out of holes and stuff. Anybody that starts being a bit, what's it with me? Oh, sausages, ha, ha, ha. You being funny or what? No, I don't bother with anybody. Like I say, I just blank them if they start putting things up. I don't. Yeah, I want to watch crochet and knitting and little bits about animals is all I want on Facebook. If anybody starts being the slightest bit political, I just blank them, take them off my site. Especially the ones who are like, like you say, if you don't have their opinion about something or other, then they get all nasty. You can't be my friend unless you support somebody or other and all that. I think there. Yeah, I'd rather watch animals being rescued me and watch little dogs and stuff like that. That's all I really watch on Facebook. If it's not a crocheting video. I don't know why people like to voice their opinions on other people, don't they? And I think that's so wrong. A nice lively debate is one thing, but to get nasty is a different matter altogether, yeah. I mean, I've had arguments with friends, but they're still your friends, aren't they? Just because you differ in opinions with people. Doesn't mean you fall out. That's part of life, isn't it? We can't all think the same and we can't all be the same. We've all got slightly different opinions about things. But, to get, it doesn't happen so much in the UK, but I found out like in the US, well, especially when there's like elections and things going on, people get really heated. And I'm like, oh my God, get a life. You know, I think we're a bit more sedate in the UK. Although, no, they can get stroppy in the UK. Oh, I just don't argue about things like that. Not interested. I always say on here, there's no politics, there's no religion, and there's no homophobia on here. That's because people all are different. You know, I don't know what, and I don't care what colour people are that are on here. I don't know, and I don't care what religion people are on here. It's not important, and I don't know what people's political views are because to me it's not important. Yeah. So that's the way it is on my channel. Thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoy it that way. They are topics that can cause a lot of hurt and upset. Hi, Marie. Oh, God, here we go again. We got a bot. Yeah, what you cooking, Chris? We shall have a different topic of conversation. Chris is always cooking something interesting. Oh, a pot roast. So will that do you a couple of days? Will it be a few days you cooking? Oh, right, right. I thought you got a bigger piece of meat or something that you were going to. Because that's the trouble when you live alone. If you get a smaller piece of beef or you get a smaller chicken or something, there's not much meat on it, is it? You need to get something bigger in order to get, your money's worth out of it. Because if you get a little chicken, it's all bones, isn't it? You're better off getting a bigger chicken and, portioning it out and putting it in the freezer or something. The same with, anything with beef or anything. You're better off getting a bigger piece and making it last a few days. Yeah. I used to do that with stew or something like that, and you're making a stew and make enough for a few days, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. You got a leg of lamb? My God, did you pawn your boat? Or did you go and mug a lamb? Yeah, everything's gone expensive. We got a note, from EDF, the energy suppliers. Our electric and our gas is going to go up by a stupid amount. You had a leg of mince. Yeah, we use a lot of mince as well, yeah. Yeah, I used to get a chicken when I lived on my own, and I used to obviously get a couple of meals off it, and then I used to use the bones to make soup, chicken soup, and then that'd do another 2 or 3 days after I made chicken soup. Yeah, chicken can be good value even if you buy a big one. I used to go to Berry Market, and I used to like going on a Saturday when they were closing and they'd be selling the fish and the meat and everything. They'd be shouting the odds because they didn't want to. Obviously, they don't open Sunday, and they'd be selling all their fish. And so I used to go with about 20 or 30 pounds in my purse, yeah, and get a pile of fish and meat and chicken and everything. Come home and portion it all out into single portions for me, like, and put it all in the freezer. That used to last me ages. Yeah, you never get those. Like, we used to make like Irish stew. Mince is what you call your shredded meat. What do you call it? Ground beef. That's what you call it in America. We call it mince meat, mince beef. I couldn't be vegetarian, but I don't eat a lot of meat anymore. I like fish as well. Not salmon though. I've gone. No. I was once really sick after liver and onions, and I can't eat it now. I used to eat it, but I can't now. No, I haven't done oxtail soup for years. I like meat to a certain extent, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't kill me if I didn't have much red meat. We tend to eat more pork or um, chicken here. No, I don't like liver anymore. It was the last meal I ate before I had COVID, about 2 years back, and it was the last meal I ate, and then I was really, really ill, and I don't know, it sort of associates in my head. Spaghetti, no. I am not a pasta lover at all. You can keep your pastas and your spaghettis. And I don't really like pizza. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, we have spaghetti bolognese every now and again, but it's not my favourite, let's just say. Some people go, "Oh, I love pasta. I'd eat pasta every day of the week." And I'm like, no, no, I don't like pasta. I never do to be Italian. I'll eat a calzone, but not a pizza. God bless your belly, Trev, as my mum would say, if you eat all that. Now, I love a good plate of bacon and egg. Can't beat it. Nice bacon butty or a bacon and egg butty. Yeah, my tummy's been filled too much. I've got to lose some weight. It's not doing me any good, Trevor. I should be about half the weight I am, according to, was it that BMI thingamajig? I should be about half as much as I already weigh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 buttons, so that'll do. I don't eat an awful lot of dairy, Chris, because I don't take milk in my coffee or anything like that. La la la. My BTM is hurting. My coccyx that I'm sitting on is giving me grief. The trouble is when you buy chairs online, I bought this and it looked ever so comfy. And it is comfy when you're sitting in it for a short period of time. But when you're sitting in it for a long period of time, it hurts. And I've lost the bit that plugs in the wall that makes it vibrate. No funny business, it's the back that vibrates you. I pulled it out because I kept getting my foot stuck in it and it tripped me up. So in a fit of temper, I rolled it up and put it somewhere safe. And I don't know where I put it. So now when I want to plug it in now to make the back vibrate for me back, I can't find it and it's somewhere safe. Oh, yeah, I need a rubber ring, you know, like you sit on when you've got piles, yeah. That's what I need, Chris, you're right there. Like when you've had a baby. Ladies who've had babies and stitches, you know what I'm talking about. You need a rubber ring to sit on, don't you? It could be with the green clock. I actually know where the green clock is, yeah. So I can still torment you with it, Shad, because I know where it is. Yeah, I need a donut pillow or something. I need something to sit on because this is hurting me. I tell you what, I'm going to put the cushion from the back underneath and see whether that helps for a few minutes. If I can get up. Ow, 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 ow. I've got a nice cushion here. I'll put that there and sit on it. See if that makes it a bit better. Oh, it's a little bit better. Oh. I'm looking if I put that. No, that's for the camera. I don't have any more. No, that's a plug-in. I don't know where I put it. Ah, no. No, that's not it. I've got loads of leaves here in my drawer, but none of them are the right one. I'm just looking what ends on it. No, it's one of them ends. Wonder where I put it. I bought a gel pad for my seat when I lived at the other house, but I didn't find it very comfy. So I found my jade roller for ironing your wrinkles out. Doesn't work, as you can tell. You're supposed to roll it. No, it's not in there. I knew I had two leads in there. but not the right kind of lead. Let me look in this drawer. I've got a diary for last year with nothing much in it. I found a sweetie. Put it in there. I found my dental floss. Well, it should be in the bathroom now. I don't know where I put it. I remember putting it somewhere safe. Thinking, oh, that's where that will go. And I can't remember where I put it. How annoying. I don't think it's in my little... Found the pens I didn't know I had. With sellotape. Nope. Definitely no plug in there. How annoying. I remember opening the cupboard or opening something and putting it in there. And now I don't know where it's gone. How stupid of me. Now I'll have to look another time. Yeah, I remember putting it inside something. Like inside a drawer or inside a box or inside something. I remember doing that. But where it went after that, I don't know. Oh, a diary for 2020. That's a bit old, isn't it? I'm looking for the plug that makes my chair back vibrate, you know, for the back. But I can't remember where. I unplugged it because I kept getting my feet stuck in it. And now I can't find where I put it. I'm sure I'll find it. It's the other half of it's the plug that goes in there that makes the back of my chair buzz. Because I remember rolling it up. Definitely remember rolling it up. And thinking, I'll keep that safe. You know where it is, do you? It's not in the fridge. That's where Miguel usually puts things into, in the fridge. It'll probably be in one of the drawers that's behind me there. No, it's not behind my monitor, and it's not on the... It's not underneath. No. Hi, Rose. How are you today? Rose from the Philippines is in the house. And how are you, Miss Rose? And how's the weather in the Philippines? Have you got sunshine? If you've got sunshine, can you send me some, please? I need some sunshine. I want to get my garden furniture out of the shed so I can sit out and sunbathe. Oh, hello, Miguel. Chris is cooking too. You've got beef stew with broccoli, carrots, peas and onions. My goodness. Oh, you're going to do some live streaming on Kumu? I don't know. You're always a busy bee, Rose. Yeah. I've put it somewhere, Chris. I know it's in this room. I know it's in this room. I can tell you that much. Yeah. It's 8 degrees here. Shad. But it has been trying to be sunny today. It wasn't too bad today. You're too tired to call us all by name. Well, we'll let you off then. We will let you off. Being as it's you. Oh, thank you, Rose. I hope I do good with my craft fair. I don't expect I will, but I've not got high hopes, if you know what I mean. I've been disappointed before, so I'm just keeping an open mind this time. Just hope I sell something and at least make me stall money back. Somebody actually asked me on one of my videos, Miguel, who you were. Who is this Miguel, they said, that you keep asking, everybody asks about. And I haven't answered them yet. I mean, surely to goodness, if they were on my live videos, they would know who you were. Everybody knows Miguel. You've been dealing with an unruly hen. Well, give it a good smack bum then. Everybody's gone to bed here. It's gone very, very quiet. But they're going out tomorrow, so that's probably why they're having a good night's sleep. No, I've got to price everything. I've got to get them somebody to. I can't carry anything heavy because of having my eye done. Apparently, you can't carry anything heavy in case you blow your eyeball or something daft. So I've put everything ready into bags in the shed. So sometime this week, I need my son or my daughter-in-law to carry the bags out the shed, and then I can price them up on the dining room table. Yeah, and then I'll be ready then. I've got my labels ready, my swing tickets. Yeah, ready to put on, but I haven't worked out any prices yet. Yeah, somebody asked me who you were on one of my videos. Who's this Miguel you all keep talking about? I was going to answer them, but I forgot all about it. See, you're not as famous as you think. Yeah, Miguel. Somebody doesn't know you. Thought everybody knew you. Thought you were infamous, Miguel. Hey. Yeah, I've got to do the armbands on this and then I sew all the ends in. I hate that bit. I hate sewing all the ends in. You try to keep a low profile, well, it don't work. It don't work, Miguel. Everybody knows you. You should change your name to who, me? Oh, I've still got that song in my head. Elton John's That Funeral for a Friend. Now, don't upset Miguel. Tell him to put his chicken in the pot, Shad. Right, I've done all the border band now. My vision's doing very well. I was a bit panicky when they did the op, because when they sat me up after the op, I couldn't see anything out my left eye. I thought she'd blinded me. I think she did the operation with a corkscrew. She wasn't gentle, let's just say, Chris. So I had a horrible 5 minutes because I couldn't see anything, and I mean anything. It was just completely blind in one eye. Anyway, they put some stuff in it, and it's all right now. You've got jury duty. I've never done that because they summons me to go for jury duty, and I said to them, I'm disabled. I said, and I can't sit. I said, and I can't stand. I said, so can you pay for me a taxi to and from the court? I said, because I can't get there any other way, and I'm a pensioner. I said, and I don't have a car. So I got this letter back saying, thank you very much for letting us know. We'll take your name off the jury service. So they took my name off. But it's true, I couldn't have got there. And I mean, if you get on jury duty, you can be on for weeks. I remember a lad from work, he went for jury duty and he said, oh, I'll be missing a day. And he got on a rummy murder case and he was 7 weeks out of work. 7 weeks. We had to cover for him. So I thought, oh my God, I thought, I can't be doing with that. I can't leave my dog. So they put me on a murder case and I'm missing. So I said to him, I said, oh, I need a taxi to and from. I said, and I said, I can't sit on hard chairs. I said, because I'm disabled. So they must have thought, oh, forget it. The Queen's grandmother. Do you mean the Queen's mother? I don't know who the Queen's grandmother is. Can't think who the Queen's grandmother is. I know who her mother was. Oh, I didn't want to go anyway. I mean, with my job in the job centre, it's probably bang to rights I'd know whoever was in the dock. I did tell them that. I said, I used to work in the job centre. I said, in Salford. I said, so it's odds on I'll know who's in the dock anyway. And you have to excuse yourself if you know them. No, I've never wanted to be on jury duty. Queen Mary, George V's wife. There you go. That's who the Queen's grandmother was. I remember Queen Mary. She was one of those very well corseletted ladies, wasn't she, with a big pile of permy hair. Gosh, the wind's coming down the chimney really loud. I'm not much into the kings and queens. Some people know everyone, don't they? I don't know any of them. We were supposed to do them at school, but I could never get them right. Who was who? I only know the Queen and the Queen's mother and the Queen's father, of course. I don't really remember. Obviously, I don't remember who her grandparents are. I'm not that old. When I was born, it was the Queen's father, George, that was on the throne, and the Queen's mother. You know more than I do then, Miguel. Well, they had to have heirs and spares, didn't they? One of them had some kids that had problems. I think they were the epileptic or something. They had a couple of girls who were put in an asylum kind of thing because they were mentally deficient. Don't know whether that was Queen Mary's kids. There's books come out about it saying that they'd said they'd died, but they hadn't died. They were in this asylum somewhere. I don't know whose kids they were, I can't remember now. Yeah, the Queen's mother was Elizabeth Bowes-Lyons, wasn't she? Well, I'm not much up with history. She was a good age, though, wasn't she, Queen Mary, if I remember rightly? Of course, the royals were very standoffish in the older days. They weren't like our Queen is now. You know, nowadays, the royal family, are more accessible, let's say. We know more about them than we did. The royal family were very private in the older days, yeah. I seen the Queen, yeah, when I was 7. I saw the Queen just after her coronation. Her and Prince Philip came and they rode in the car past where we were there, all waving our little flags. I mean, I was only about 7, I think. 1953, I think it was. So I was born 45. Yeah, I'd be 8, would I be? Yeah. So I've actually seen the Queen at a distance. She passed by in a car. we, we all waved. But that's the nearest I've ever been to royalty. I mean, I've seen Buckingham Palace, you know, but there was nobody there when I went past, just saw the guards, yeah. Didn't even see the changing of the guard. It was just, I just went past it on a bus, I think. I mean, the Queen said she's never going back, isn't she, to Buckingham Palace? She's never living there. So what the heck they'll do with it, I don't know. One of my friends was the first black guardsman in the changing of the guards. Mark Campbell, he was called. No, she's not going back to live in Buckingham Palace. I don't blame her. It's a drafty old isn't it? She's getting old now, isn't she? Who wants to tramp all around them 150 odd rooms and bedrooms and God knows what else? She'd be better off opening it up to the public and letting everybody pay tenner to go and look round it, yeah. She's not going to go live there. People would pay a fortune to walk around it, wouldn't they? Yeah, that was the one. He was a bit strange, one with his epilepsy. But there was two girls as well, two women from a long time back. I don't know whether they were Victoria's children or whether they were Mary's children. There were two girls who had something wrong with them. When is my fair? It's Saturday, this coming Saturday. But it's in the it's over by 3 o'clock, so I should still be here next Saturday. Yeah, I can't think who these two women were. They were royal. And they were said to have died, but they didn't. They just locked them away somewhere. Well, they're the Queen's cousins, yeah. I mean, they're dead now. But there was, I mean, there's haemophilia in the royal family. Comes from the German side of the family. Well, I've nearly done one armband. No, it wasn't polio. It was some kind of a mental illness they had. I mean, they could have been Downs, you don't know. Down syndrome or something. Because they used to put people away for that, didn't they? Back in the day. I mean, when I moved to Prestwich, at first there was Prestwich Mental Health. Well, they used to call it Prestwich Asylum. And there was quite a lot of people in there that were Down syndrome. And then there was ladies in there that got put in there because they'd had babies out of wedlock when they were like 16, and their parents put them in there because they had lapses of morals or something or other. Yeah, people used to get put away in asylums for nothing really back in the day. Even like in my generational time. I can remember when I took my son in his big pram and we'd gone down this country lane and I was pushing him in his big pram, and all of a sudden this crowd of about 10 people that had Down syndrome came towards me and started crowding round the pram. I mean, it frightened me a bit. But the nurses said, don't worry about it, don't worry. They just want to look at the baby, that's all. But I remember thinking, oh my God. But, I mean, it was such that, like, people used to shut them away. You thought they were crazy people, and yet they're not, are they? But I'd never been in contact with anybody. So they frightened me. I didn't want them harming me baby. But all they wanted to do was just look at him. They wanted to look at the baby. And that's all the nurse said. The nurse said, just let them look at the baby. That's all they want to do. They just want to look at the baby. But I was like, oh, my baby, because he was only new. You know what you're like when you're first born. Petrified if anybody breathes on it. But they were like you said, they were in the mental Prestwich Asylum they were in. And the only crime they committed was the fact they were born with Down syndrome. Have you finished your mailman's hat, Miguel? Yeah, I shouldn't keep putting my head down, but I do. I find it very difficult to put my eye drops in. Putting your own eye drops in is hard. You get too close, you poke yourself in the eye with the pointy bit, don't you? And if you don't get close enough, it just flows down your cheek and you miss your eyeball altogether. Hey, never mind. These things are sent to trials. And that is hurting me more, sitting on that cushion. Because you put it on Facebook. That's how I know about the mailman. He said you hat for the mailman. I'm not psychic, Miguel. I do have powers, but not that good. Oh my goodness, Sandra. Yeah, my friend's electric kept going off the other day. She goes, "Oh, Mel." I said, "It's probably not just you." Anyway, it went off again, and she said, "Oh, you're right. It's everybody on the street. It's not just me." I said, "It'll be the weather." Sue was telling me, she's in Scotland, but she lost her power the other day. It was off for about a couple of hours. I keep saying I'm going to make a video. If they go out tomorrow and take the dogs with them, I might try and make a video. Yeah, they're fiddling with our internet apparently around here. That's why I've had a bad internet connection over the last few weeks. It was 3G or something, and now they're doing 4G. I don't understand. Ooh. The only thing I understand about internet is switch it on, switch it off. Yeah, my search engine and me mail. That's all I know. I don't know how to do much else. Some people are whizzes, aren't they, on the computer? I'm not. You're not coughing and wheezing. Well, if you will go out without your mask on, I bet you haven't been wearing your mask, have you, before you caught that COVID? People in America are not as good as we are for wearing masks. I had to wear my mask at the hospital. They said you might not have to wear your mask, but you do it in a medical situation. So I had to wear my mask in the hospital. People still wear them over here in the shops and that, even though you don't have to anymore. I think we err on the side of caution over here. But I know lots of people in America never wore them at all. I don't wear mine when I'm out, Kaz, but I do if I'm going in a shop or anywhere that's small or a bit crowded looking. But I don't wear it when I'm out and about. I live by the sea, don't forget anything. The sea breeze would blow the germs away. Oh, I've got to fill my breathing machine up with water. That reminds me. My humidifier breathing machine thing, you have to put water in it so that it stops you getting a dry throat and a dry mouth. So I have to. Oh, right, yeah. It's all right when you wear a mask, you can pull faces. Nobody knows. Oh, I've nearly finished. Another round and a half on my armhole. And then it's stitching the ends in time. And then I don't know what I'm making next. I can't be nothing, do I? Can't be nothing. Drive me mad. It's a wine gum. Not real wine. Was it that bad, Marie? You won't tell your first name. My names are not bad. I didn't like my first name when I lived in Oldham because of the way they pronounced it. They used to pronounce it Janet in Oldham. I said, I'm not Janet, I'm Janet. So that's why I started calling myself Jan. I said, because you can't get it wrong then, can you? I don't mind Janet, but I don't like Janet. And my middle name is Elizabeth. My mother didn't want to call me Elizabeth because she thought I'd get called Lizzie or Beth or Betty. Not perhaps Beth, but Lizzie she thought I'd get called. But my grandma was Elizabeth and nobody ever called her Lizzie. She was always Elizabeth. I think she had that air about her. You know, if somebody had called her Lizzie, it would have been, excuse me. Tina Marie. My niece is Victoria Mary Lucy. What a name to go to bed with. My other niece is Catherine Elizabeth. Oh, Marielle. That's a French name, isn't it? Marielle. When I was at school, I used to say, my name is Elizabeth. Elizabeth. That's the French for Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. None of my cousins have got fancy names. It's funny, I had an auntie, and everybody used to call her Maria. And we always used to call her Mariah, because that's what she was called to us, Mariah. But like when, of course, the American version came in, they kept saying, it's Maria, it's Maria. So she shortened it and she called herself Mary, Auntie Mary. Yeah, we had a Mary Alice, we had Janie, Wilfred, John, Gerard, Francis, Thomas, all ordinary names. Right, Miguel, enjoy your weekend and don't be falling over again or catching any more COVID. My daughter was going to be Joanna, Joanna. My husband hated it. He wanted to call her Angela, which was his ex-fiance's name, so you can imagine what I thought about that. I said, there is no way I'm calling my baby after you. So it was a good job he was a boy because we couldn't agree on a girl's name. I think I've done 3 rows there. Yeah, my friends' children were Deborah, Michelle, and Karen Adele. But unfortunately, Karen Adele was a cot death. On my mum's side, nobody had 2 names. Hello, Proverbs. Maurice, Emily, Van and Jace. They're unusual names, Van and Jace. My ex-fiance's father was called Shad, but it was short for Shadrach, which yours isn't, is it? He was called Shadrach. Shadrach Chadwick. It's a biblical name, isn't it? It's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, isn't it? They're all biblical names. My mum's name was Lucy, and I always used to cringe because everybody used to laugh at school and say, what an old-fashioned name. And now it's coming back, isn't it? Kids are being called Lucy now. Yeah, he said I happen to like the name Angela. I said it's your ex-fiance's name. I'm not calling my baby Angela. And I wanted to call her Helen, but if he'd have been a girl. But my ex didn't like Helen. My mum's generation, it was the fashion to call people after flowers. There was a lot of like roses and daisies and lilies and yeah, Shadrach, yeah. That's what I thought you were called. I've never known anybody just called Shad, yeah. One of my aunties was called Janie, and it was Janie. It wasn't Jane, it was Janie. My other was Marie Alice. Then there was Mariah. It's an unusual name though, Shad, isn't it? The shortened name. I mean, some of the names that they make up these days, they make them up, don't they? It's like, let's see what silly name we can call our kids. I mean, what's he called? Elon Musk or something. His kids call something weird like XYZ or something daft. I mean, what the heck? How do you pronounce that? It's like David Bowie's son, isn't it? He was called Zoe or Zoe. Zoe Bowie. He's changed his name. He's not called that anymore. Imagine being called Zoe Bowie. Bob Geldof's kids are called like Tiger Lily, aren't they? And something weird. Peaches. Something or other. You wonder. And then there was Apple, weren't there? Somebody called their baby Apple. And Woody Allen's son was called Satchel, wasn't he? I mean, where did they get these names from? Well, the Kardashians, honest to God. I think I have got, I'm one of the few people who's never watched any of them. I don't know why they have to pick such weird names. Righty-ho, Trev. Yeah, Apple. Fancy calling a baby Apple. I've never watched the Kardashians. I'm not in the slightest bit interested in. Very shallow howl, aren't they? Who cares who they are? Yeah, Michael Jackson. Well, one's called Prince and the other one's called Blanket. It's the same with Katie Price. Her daughter's called Princess, isn't it? You know. What? on earth? Yeah, why can't they call them Jack and Fred? No, I can't stand the Kardashians. They're all shallow, hallow. Yeah, Paris, you can understand. I had my mannequin was called Paris, but only because she looked like Paris Hilton. And she had blonde hair. So I called her Paris. That was my mannequin's name. But I wouldn't have called her child Paris. It just fitted my mannequin because that's what she was, a dummy. My tailor's dummy's called Lady Jane. That was my mother's nickname for me. When she said I put on airs and graces, she'd say, "Who do you think you are, Lady Jane?" In other words, shut up. If I answered her back or anything like that, got a little bit cheeky, yeah. It was, "Who do you think you are?" I know, but Satchel's a daft name, innit, for a kid. Imagine looking at a newborn baby saying, "I name you Satchel." Well, there was that film star, I don't know whether it was her real name or not. Tuesday Weld. Who would call their baby Tuesday? But that could have been a made up name because she was a film star. It's really windy down the chimney. I'm glad they're going back to old fashioned names now. Yeah, Bumbag. Bumbag Alan. He's changed his name anyway, he's not called Satchel anymore. I think as soon as they get to a certain age, they're like, "Oh." Yeah, but that was a make believe family, wasn't it? Wasn't a real life family. Being called Wednesday. I was born on a Sunday, so what does that make me? Sunday. Glad my mother didn't call me Sunday. Sunday Buckley. Hi, Donna. Yeah, it's like those hippie names, and they used to call each other Moonbeam and Butterfly and Sunrise and stuff. La la la. Well, at least I'm not tired like I was last week. I couldn't keep my eyes open last week. I literally just fell asleep on top of the bed. I just caved over. Shadwick. Some people have some, like I say, some very strange names. Sunday. I think of like those ice cream sundaes when I think of Sunday. You might as well call your kid Knickerbocker Glory. And it's like these mothers who change the spellings of their child's name into something weird and wonderful. And you're thinking, my God, that child's got to go to school and it's got to spell its name to everybody because their mother thought it was amusing to spell it different. La, la, la. That's the only thing about Granny Squares, isn't it? All the dance ends in. Are any of them rude, Chris, or do they all stay with something? It's like when people come on with Chris, I didn't know if you were a male or a female at first, because we've also got a Chris that comes on who's a lady. And you always have to think, is that a male Chris or a female Chris? Well, when you first came on here, Chris, I couldn't even see the avatar. Yeah, Agnes used to be really old-fashioned, didn't it? Mostly because they used to shorten it to Aggie. Yeah, banana split. Anything is possible. I think they must be still on gas and air when they name the kids sometimes. I used to know two sisters, and their surname was Darnborough. And when their dad went to register them at separate times, one was registered under Darnborough, and the other one was registered under Darnborough. So one was right and one was wrong, and he couldn't get it changed. So even though they were sisters, they had a different surname. My one boxer, he called all his children the same name, didn't he? Don't know whether it was Muhammad Ali or who it was. All his boys had the same name. Can't remember if it was Muhammad Ali or whether it was George Foreman or somebody. But somebody called all his boys the same name. I suppose it'd be easy if you wanted to shout them for dinner. You just have to shout one name and they all come running. I know a guy and he's called Glenn Roy and his brother's called Glendale. So they're both called Glenn. You have unusual names in your families, yeah? Make my family seem quite boring. My mum's brothers were all given short names. They weren't given full names like Wilf was, he wasn't Wilfred, he was Wilf. And Jack wasn't John, he was Jack. And they had Roy and they had Wilf, yeah. He wasn't Wilfred, he was Wilf. Um, just trying to think what the other boys' names were. They were all very short names. She had a Alan, a Roy, Arnold, let's say Wilfred, Fred. He wasn't Frederick, he was Fred. Yeah, she never gave him a full name. Well, it might have been Henry Cooper. I know there was a boxer who called all his kids the same name. I remember that, but I couldn't remember what they were all called. How confusing is that? He once went out with I used to go to school with a guy called Vernon. Sadly, he's passed away now. Man, there's not many people called Persephone anymore, is there? That's written Persephone. I know I read a book all the way through and I was reading Persephone. Then I found out afterwards it was Persephone. Irish names get me. I never know how to pronounce them. You know, the Siobhans and the names like that. Wahlberg, oh God. Yeah, a lot of people in the past were given kind of like surnames for Christian names. was like posh, to call people like Courtney and Taylor, kind of surnames for Christian names. I don't know where that came from. Probably the posh people. Nobility in England years ago. They all used to have fancy names like Buckingham or something like that. I used to know a lady when I was young. She was called Queenie. And I don't know whether she was actually called Queenie or that's what they used to call her. Whether she was actually christened Queenie, I don't know. Biffo. That reminds me of a comic. There was a comic, wasn't there, with somebody called Biffo. I think it was like Lord Snooty and his friends. It was either the Beano or the Dandy. I don't know whether you had those comics in America. They were our comics in England, was the Beano and the Dandy. I can't remember which one I used to have. I think it was the Beano I used to have. But I didn't get a comic every week because my parents didn't have that kind of money. So it was a big treat if I used to get the Beano. I knew somebody called Bridie, but not Birdie. I think it was Irish Bridie. Not sure. I hate sewing ends in. I don't know about you. When you finish off with enough tails to make a bird's nest, But no matter how much I darn them in and do that, I always finish up with something poking out. I'm going to finish sewing these ends in, and then I'm going to bed. Still got quite a few ends to sew in yet. Still got quite a few. I'm hungry. That Steve, what's it, used to have a daughter called Bindi, didn't he? That one that got stung by a stingray and died. He used to have a TV programme, didn't he? Steve Irwin, that's it, wasn't it? Yeah, his daughter was called Bindi, wasn't she? One of his kids is the image of him. I don't know if it's the girl or the boy. You're all waxed out, are you, Trevor? Right, okay. I'm all stitched out. You're all waxed out. I'm all stitched out. Still got some ends to sew in before I can go to bed. Oh, I used to have an afro. Oh, was she called? Avril? Avril Wood. Her mum and dad used to have a toy stall on Oldham Market. I used to think she was ever so posh. She was their only child and she was very, very spoiled, yeah. Avril Wood. Gosh, never thought about her for ages. See, you just reminded me about a friend I used to have. She used to go out with a lad I had the hots for. He looked like George Harrison. He used to wear a beetle suit and beetle hair. What was he called? Melvin, I think, maybe. I used to think he was the gorgeous. I used to think he was absolutely gorgeous. I think he was called Melvin or something. Gosh, that's going back a bit. I think we were about 15 or 16 at the time. She was older than me. She had a car, which was something in my day, like your friends with a car. Wow. Yeah, I used to think George was the handsomest of them all, George Harrison. Everyone else used to think that Paul was the nicest one, but I always liked George. Gladys, yeah. One of my friends, his daughter's called Stella. Oh, my backside is hurting. My cock's sick. I don't know why I never really cared for John. He was always a bit cocky to me. A bit mouthy, yeah. Poor Ringo, nobody ever wanted him. Nobody ever thought Ringo was gorgeous, did they? Poor thing. My cousin's husband stood in for Ringo when he had tonsillitis and he went to Germany. He was called Jimmy Nicol. He was the fourth Beatle. He was only a Beatle for about 3 or 4 weeks, but that's my claim to fame. My cousin's husband, Jimmy Nicol, was once a Beatle for about 5 minutes. I went off John when he started with that Yoko Ono. I never liked her. Nearly finished sewing the engine. Not got that many to go. and then went to bed. I'll sew the buttons on it tomorrow. My son found my camera box in the garage while he was sorting out, and it has a spare battery in it. And I thought my battery was on the duff because it keeps not charging up properly. And now I find out I've got a spare battery, so I shall get that put in and charge that one up instead. Maybe it'll hold its charge a bit better. I mean, I've had the camera about 4 years now, so it's no wonder the battery's gone a bit off. Yeah, Jimmy Nicol, yeah, is my cousin Pat's husband. Well, he was. And his son's called Howie. I babysat Howie when he was little. Don't know where he is now. Howard was their son. He's a record producer, Howie Nicol, if you look him up. I've tried to get a hold of him because I want to know if my cousin Pat's still alive. I wanted to tell her like my brother had died because they were brought up together. But he never answered. Well, I don't know whether he ever got it. I sent him an email, but he never answered me. Yeah, I'm going to bed in a minute, Kaz. As soon as I finish downing my ends in. See if I've any more ends. Yeah, oh God, I do. Thought I'd sewn them all in. But I've still got some left. Ba-ding! Somebody's sending me a... My phone whistles when I'm gone to bed. It annoys me. It goes ba-ding, and then it goes and whistles, and I can't get it to stop. I've tried turning off notifications. I've tried all sorts of things, and it still blooming well whistles at me. Very annoying when I'm trying to get to sleep. Yeah, I've got a book about Jimmy Nicol. It's called The Fourth Beatle or something. Or The Forgotten Beatle or something. It mentions my cousin in there. They got divorced years ago, though. I don't even know if Jimmy's alive or dead. Nobody seems to know. He had a lot of problems with alcohol after the Beatles. No, he wasn't that clever before he was in the Beatles. He drank a lot then. So I can't think he can blame it on the Beatles. He was a party animal. That's what broke their marriage up. Our Pat was home with the baby and he was out partying. So I think that's what broke it up. Man, my uncle never wanted her to marry him. But she was pregnant, and in those days, if you got pregnant, you got married. Oh, I've finished with these blooming... I'm fed up now. I said I was going to sew all the ends in before I went to bed, but I'm fed up now. I'm going to bed. I'm going to sew the ends in tomorrow. See, I nearly finished it. Just got ends to sew in. That's what it'll look like when it's done. When it gets its boutons on. Put my ends in that bin. I think I'm on my own tomorrow. I think they're going out. As you know, my son's doing up a camper van. I think he's going to one of his friends tomorrow to get a lift with it. So, I shall see you all next week, and hopefully I'll find the plug for my chair. Don't know where I put it. I shall find it sometime. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed now, so thank you very much for your company, everybody, whoever's left on here. And I shall speak to you all very soon. So bye all. Bye for now. Whoops. Yeah, well, I'll tell you next week, won't I? Because I'll be back next week. Still look. I'm not used to myself not wearing any makeup. Still, I can't wear makeup for a few weeks because you can't get any eyeshadow or eye makeup in your eye. Yeah, otherwise it'll do it damage. Right, bye all. See you next week.